Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Teresa makes an admission to Andrew while Wendy gets a frantic request from her mom. Trip returns home to Wendy after with a sack loaded with somewhat late Christmas embellishments from the 99-penny store. Trip knows she's been striving after Lee's passing. She deeply misses him as well as the rest of her Chinese family. He welcomes her to enlighten him regarding her Christmases growing up. She shares that on Christmas Eve, they gave each other apples. In China, in the event that you eat a harmony apple, you'll be honored with a protected and tranquil year ahead. Furthermore, Saint Nick plays the sax, which prompts her relating a memory about Lee being horrendous at the instrument. Trip holds her as she destroys. Sarah senses something is wrong as she rolls Victoria's stroller toward Maggie in the square. Maggie tells Victor how much she misses him, breaking down in tears. Leaving the bar, Alex runs into Xander, who ridicules him for Bella failing since he put the lady he's laying down with in control. Alex defends Teresa and asks himself why he would ever seek business advice from the man whose father hired him to mow his lawn. Xander scowls, however, at that point proposes they eat in harmony with Maggie at the upcoming Christmas gathering. Alex jokingly warns him that he will break more than bread if he continues this behavior. Alex and Xander glare at one another external the bar. In his Salem motel room, Constantine vapor over Teresa figuring she can leave without any outcomes. It's not finished at this point, he announces, as he calls her. While sitting in the recreation area, Teresa disregards Constantine's call and afterward firmly embraces Andrew as he draws near. He horridly illuminates her. Shane gave Victoria's abducting case to him, and he found Teresa's face in one of the upgraded photographs. Teresa lies that Constantine is a sweet elderly person who needed to intrigue Maggie, so he concocted the save a child thought. She was simply attempting to help on the grounds that Maggie's been so desolate. Andrew acknowledges her story since it's the very sort of thing she'd get stirred up in. Be that as it may, it makes her an accessory to grabbing. Is there any good reason why he shouldn't hand her over? In the park, Andrew embraces Teresa with seriousness. Constantine leaves the inn as Maggie laments Victor's inability to meet Victoria. Behind the enormous Christmas tree, he listens in as Maggie talks about how sad she is. Sarah contemplates whether she's inclination even lonelier in light of the fact that Constantine moved out. Maggie demands he doesn't have anything to do with it. He was putting her family in danger, so it was time for him to leave. Sarah wants her to feel sorry for them. Maggie stands firm. More, did you concur with the voice, champ? While gazing at the Christmas tree in the square, Constantine displays a deep frown. At the station, Jada laments not having the option to tackle Victoria's abducting case before Christmas. Rafe reminds her Victoria is protected at home, so it's anything but a major problem. Nonetheless, he might want to settle one secret at this moment. Is Jada Tracker going to move in with Rafe Hernandez or not? Jada tells Rafe in the interrogation room that Stephanie's breakup with Chad brought back memories of her breakup with Bobby, her husband. She was excessively rash and moved excessively quick. They started to resent each other because she didn't know Bobby as well as she thought she did. She hasn't seen or heard from him since they separated. She also ran into Eric, which served as yet another reminder of the dangers of moving too quickly. In the square, Sarah and Maggie affirm they'll see each other at Doug and Julie's later. After Sarah passes on to meet Xander, Maggie sees Alex. Constantine continues to listen as Maggie tells Alex how disturbed she was to learn that the ad revenue for the first issue of Bella was significantly higher than the issue's cost. Alex contributes that to one-time startup costs. She berates Alex for placing assets into a perishing product with an underqualified Teresa in control due to their own relationship. More, figure out who Annalyn McCord will play on Days. In the recreation area, Teresa lets her sibling know how sorry she is and asks what he will do. Andrew will tell John and Steve that they couldn't improve the criminal's face. She inhales a moan of help. Let me now tell you what you are going to do, he adds with sternness. In the wake of getting a conveyance, Trip presents red apples to Wendy. She says thanks to him and gets some information about his customs growing up. He says his assenting mother gave her all, yet after she kicked the bucket, he just attempted to avoid his oppressive father's way. She regrets bringing up negative memories. He believes now is the ideal time to make their own cheerful ones. He holds up an apple and says, "To a protected and quiet year ahead." They ring apples and nibble into them. Confronting one another, Wendy and Trip nibble into red apples. In the cross-examination room, Jada tells Rafe she needs to take things gradually and get everything done well. He expects he might have stayed away from some anguish himself had he done that previously. He maintains that her should establish the rhythm for them. He adores her and maintains that her should find a sense of contentment with her choice. Just let me know when you're prepared. More, next season's The Voice Mentors. In the square, Alex muses it's ideal assuming he and Teresa pass on Christmas, taking into account Maggie's inclinations toward him. Maggie entreats him to come for Justin, who misses him, and for Victor. Alex doesn't maintain that it should be hopeless, so consider him out. After Alex walks away, Constantine approaches Maggie and offers to get her a cup of eggnog. She reluctantly concurs. In the recreation area, Andrew orders Teresa to walk an honest way of living and to avoid Constantine. Additionally, quit engaging in plans she knows are off base. It's the last time he covers for her. A thankful Teresa embraces him before he leaves for the ISA fly. At the station, Rafe gifts Jada with keys to his home. He knows they're not moving in, however he figured she ought to have her own set to travel every which way however she sees fit. Jada realizes this will be the best present she gets this Christmas. As they kiss, they choose to return home since it's a night when pleasant young ladies and young men hit the sack early, terrible ones as well. Xander and Sarah look at one another across a table in the bar. Victoria's buggy is close to them. Inside the bar, Sarah tells Xander, in spite of it being his night with Victoria, she needs to take their girl to Doug and Julie's. He gets it, however inquires as to whether she'll drop Victoria off returning. Sarah would rather not miss her girl's most memorable Christmas morning. Xander expresses one of them needs to, and he will miss her most memorable Christmas Eve. He should accompany them to Doug and Julie's, according to Sarah. It'd mean such a great amount to her mother, and to me. At home, Trip draws out the Jenga game just because. For the sake of new time, a flirtatious Wendy suggests they play a different game. They kiss. Wendy gets a call from her mom, who's worried about Wendy's father. He hasn't been doing great since Lee's demise, so she believes Wendy should move back to China. After Constantine recounts to Maggie a story over eggnog about Victor, she welcomes him to the Horton tree managing. Constantine would be generally thankful. At the point when a restless Teresa runs into Alex in the recreation area, he recommends they have Christmas Eve supper at the bistro. She really wants to get done with shopping first, so they intend to get together later. She tensely murmurs as he leaves. Later, Teresa takes Constantine's call. She expresses that she can't assist him with Maggie at any point down the road. He menacingly counters that she would be able, and she will. Constantine utilizes his hands to make a highlight Maggie. Cups of eggnog sit before them on their table in the square. Then, on Days of Our Lives, long-term companions think back, and Paulina's activities influence Holly.